Vincent. I'm also a student of the Rainbow T'ai-Chi school now for 6 years. And yeah, what an amazing evening. It's so much joy, and yeah, thank you all the people who have went before me. And I want to share something tonight. It's maybe a bit different, but something that I see in society that I find really strange, and maybe some of you will find that as well, is that recently I needed a new toothbrush. So I went to the shop to buy a new toothbrush, and I just put it there in the bathroom, and then in the evening I was starting to feel a bit tired, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's time to go to bed. And you know, I just walked to the bathroom like I always do, and suddenly, oh yeah, I have a new toothbrush. I have to open it. So you know, I was just trying to open my toothbrush like everyone would do when they buy a new toothbrush. So I was like, I couldn't get it open. So I was like, I suddenly felt like I was fighting a snake. What's happening? I just couldn't get it open. I just wanted to brush my teeth. I went to bed. I wasn't feeling tired anymore. I'm not going to open this toothbrush. I'm going to use a hammer. I was searching for the right tool. Maybe just try again. It's open. Where is the mirror? Finding it. I noticed that I make all these strange faces when I brush my teeth. You know, I felt like King Arthur with the sword. I was so happy with my toothbrush. I felt like going to the bedroom to Helen. Helen, look what I did! I opened the package with toothbrush. I didn't do that. And I just felt like everyone has a toothbrush. I mean, just check in. Who doesn't have a toothbrush here? Just lift up your hand if you have a toothbrush.
Have?
Have. You have a toothbrush? Yeah, see, some people use it for guys, I have. Some people like I have fun, but I don't really use it. And I was like, how, imagine that I would be, what if I was 80 years old and I had a toothbrush, and I bought a toothbrush and I needed to open it. How would I do it? I mean, I'm 30 now and I'm having struggles to open this package because it's so hard plastic. You know, what if I was an elderly person there, you know, with false teeth that I wanted to brush, like. I got my false teeth. Is representing our society. It's so hard for people to open up. And I realized I am like a toothbrush packaging. When I came to this school, I was really like, you know, some toothbrush packages, they look like white teeth are on it and they look super cool. And that was how I was. I was like, it was almost like I was hearing music. I was also a DJ and I was like, hello, I'm Vincent, I'm super cool! How cool I am! I'm Vincent from Holland and I'm super cool! I thought there was nothing wrong with me because I was just super cool. Until I came to the school, and one of the first things the boss at Joyce said to me, like, Vincent, yes? But inside I still felt like, I was pretending like, yes. But there was also a part inside me who felt like, yes. He said, Tai-Chi, you are used to winning, but Tai-Chi is first about losing. And I was like, losing? I want to win. And then there was this part inside me that I never showed to the world. And I was feeling like a loser all my life. Like, why me? Why my life? And I was covering it up with this guy. And then I realized that this was the toothbrush packaging, and this guy was in my heart. He was hidden and he felt so alone. And then in this school I learned to soften, and that's actually one of the greatest gifts that I found. It's softening, such an amazing thing. And I realized it's very unnatural to have this packaging around toothbrushes, or so many people are so hard on the outside, but inside they're so soft, you know, and they're made for amazing things like brushing your teeth. It can be very enjoyable. So in this school I learned to soften, and to make a long story short, Helen and myself are now teaching in different care homes, and that's also why I want to do this sharing, because I see that our society is focusing on young people fast, but when you get older things get more and more difficult. Like you can't even open the packaging anymore. It's not just a toothbrush, it can be anything you buy in the supermarket. You see elderly people there, you know, they can't open the packaging of some tomatoes. And Helen and I are teaching in elderly homes, and most of you know the stories that some homes are mostly elderly women, and we come in there and we teach Rainbow Tai-Chi to them, and you know, the elderly ladies, they love it, and some say to me, most of you know the stories already, like, oh, this is amazing! Can you show me some exercise in my bedroom? That's what the elderly ladies, some are over 100, they ask me those kind of questions. And it's a lot of fun, but you never heard this story, because there's one home, they're full of elderly men, elderly gentlemen. And I came in there, and sometimes Helen is not there, so I go by myself. So this time I went into this home and I said, hey guys, it's time for a Rainbow Tai-Chi class. And there were just these grumpy old men looking at me like. And I said, okay, and normally it's not that way, it's like totally different. And these guys were just looking at me like these men are. And it's okay, the first exercise is about letting go. Nothing was happening. The only thing that happened was one man, he did like. Then another man said, I used to be in charge of the military of Britain, the Department of Physical Training. I'm not doing this! And I was like, shaking to the core of my bones. And then I was like, what do I do now? That's what I felt inside me. So luckily I had the third fundamental where I could hold myself. And I felt, okay, I'm just going to bring this into the class. Okay, it's okay. And then I saw one lady, the only lady in the room, she was sitting there. And she did also this. And I was like, she's receptive. And I went to her and said, hello, do you want to join in the Rainbow Tai-Chi class? She said, no, my lover, I already have a tea glass. Oh, okay, no, this is about softness. Softness. It's not like in the army where it's about hardness. We start with softness. Softer, softer, softer. And she was saying, I can't hear you, my lover. And I was saying, it's about softness. Softer, softer. Oh, you come here often? No. And then these men were saying, she's deaf, she's deaf. Okay, no, it's about softness. Rainbow Tai-Chi is about softness. Oh, yes, you're sleeping in the loft, right? No, it's about softness. Soft, love, and accept yourself as you are. And it goes through her ears, she was amazing. Oh, you're so nice, boy. madness. No, it was not the right way. And I realized in the school, the first thing I learned, we're not coming to our mind with heart projections, shouting like I was trying. No, the heart comes first. So suddenly I realized I connected to my heart. And then I was like, how do I connect to this gentleman? And suddenly I could feel a connection to one of these elderly gentlemen. You know, and it was like I could feel what he was feeling behind the packaging. I could feel there was something there, and later I wrote it all down. It was like I could speak on his behalf, and I felt I can speak on behalf of so many elderly people. And it's flowed into a poem. So I'm speaking on his behalf and on behalf of all the elderly people. That he was saying, my whole life I've worked so hard for my family and for my wife. So hard that my heart almost stopped. I worked so hard I almost dropped to the floor of the factory because I was forced to treat my body as machinery. I was divorced from myself, beating up myself. I worked so hard that my heart almost stopped beating. Survival mode just to keep eating. And the whole of humanity is bleeding. And where are the heroes when nobody can see them? I gave all myself for the ones I care for. But now I found myself locked up in a care home. And I'm feeling so alone. Because nobody comes to visit. No one can spare, not even 1 minute. And I don't want to slow them down. But yet I miss them. So what's the point of living? Because all my life the only thing I know is giving. But now I'm locked up. I'm feeling fucked up with myself. I'm sorry, I can only frown. As my body left me down. As I'm labeled as too old. I'm locked up behind prison bars of gold. But I am a human with emotions. I want to be heard. I want to be seen. As I have been young like you. I had dreams. I had worries too. So I understand where you stand. But now I'm labeled. I'm labeled as an elderly in old folks' homes. When I turn on the TV, I see babies getting killed by drones. The war zones are growing. And what are we sowing? Seeds of hate, manipulating beef, veggies and steak. Trying to control Mother Nature. Trying to control even the color of a baby's eyes. It's time to realize we need to wake up. We need to break up the old to make way for the new. Advocated by the few are the heroes inside, representing by the light. I feel them helping from the other side. Come on, break free, take us and take me, heal us and bring the remedy coming from within, coming from the real you and the real Vin. Jumping in the ring, bombing with light, thunder, and more light to fright the shadows and face the fear so we can flow back to the source, back to the center, connect to the vital force. Because the center protects, the center smiles, the center resurrects. Everything that's old into the new, changes the cold into warm, loving acceptance. And Rainbow T'ai-Chi creates the energy, making people want to move in the place to be. It makes you feel home and deliver the key with the heart, body, mind, spirit recipe. So 1, 2, 3, put your hands in the air and say yeah! Yeah!